Hello, this is Occupy Los Angeles General Assembly. We're here at Pershing Square at the corner of 6th and Olive in downtown Los Angeles, California.
We have a quorum.
Not really matter, but we got somebody. Solidarity, Blues Clues is back among us.
Hello!
Come on.
You do louder than that, huh?
Welcome down, babe. All right, Portia. Woo! Let's do it.
Thank you, Portia.
Thank you. Okay, welcome everybody. Today is day 702. Woo! All right, I am Portia. I am your facilitator tonight. Brian is my stagger, and peacekeepers are Greg and Wedo. Where's Brian? Okay, does anybody need a translator? Adam!
All right. With the other surgeons here, that's it.
Hey, you're here. Hi.
Witness this one for the world. It's fireworks these days.
We'll see who shows up, huh?
What?
Get your camera ready.
Yeah, no, I know. I wish I had sound.
Fire here!
Support the movement.
My name is Roger, and
My name is Roger.
and I'm here to support the movement also.
I'm here to support the movement also.
How about you?
Anybody else new? Mike just heard.
Supporting the movement too, yeah.
Alright, thank you guys. Alright, let's go over hand signals. Most of us know, but since we have newcomers, this means we like it, or we agree with it. This means we don't get it, we don't see it. Point of process means you need to get back on topic. Point of ovaries, this is when a woman is in trouble. Needs our support of her female comrades. Point of love. Then what's the one for?
Hard luck.
Yeah, hard luck. Hard luck means you use it very sparingly. It is only meant if it's going to break the movement.
Right.
You must be prepared to defend
Oh, yeah,
it.
You're right there. You're right there.
Wait,
I don't like what she's saying.
Yeah, wait, that's
There's another side.
That's great.
Another dude.
But yeah, business time means you need to call it. You're going on. This thing's going on too long. You need to roll it up here. Okay, we're good to go then. Anybody got any announcements? Where's Brian? Get on track to Brian. Where's Brian? Yeah, get on track to Brian. Brian, just back to the General Assembly. Thank you. Any announcements to Brian?
We're sitting here. We come up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Announcement. Mic check. Wednesday next week is the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington. Wednesday next week is the
50th anniversary of the March on Wall Street.
All week next week will be stuff happening all over town
All week there'll be stuff happening all over town.
to celebrate this.
Celebrate this.
And also to keep Trayvon alive.
And also,
Also to keep Trayvon alive.
He can't die if we're in the streets.
Can't die if we're in the street.
It's only when we sit down
Only when we sit down
that he dies.
that he dies.
I have flyers
I have flyers
for an event on the 31st.
for the event on the 31st.
That's Saturday, August the 31st.
Saturday, August 31st.
We are meeting at Lamert Park
Meeting at Lamert Park
at 11 o'clock.
at 11 o'clock.
There will be a march and a rally.
There will be a march and a rally.
I'll be handing out flyers. Thank
We'll be
you.
handing out flyers and thank you.
thank you. Okay. Any other announcements?
I got an announcement. As you already know, probably this Saturday and Sunday there's gonna be a sleep out in Venice at Great Baroque, or excuse me, Beyond Baroque, and so there is gonna be feeding of people. About maybe 400 people are probably gonna show up, and it's a really nice place. I see in the front lawn it has grass, so it's gonna be soft to put your whatever you wanna put in there, and you can start camping up around probably noon or 2:30, something like that, on Saturday. And we need some help on people cutting and slicing food for the preparation on Friday. So if you have time, come to me after the meeting or send me an email to occupy@gmail.com. Alrighty. Yeah, I got a couple of flyers.
Hi, now if you're just joining us here on the live stream, this is Occupy Los Angeles General Assembly.
Okay.
Julie! Oh, you're on stack next?
No, he's here first, right?
Okay.
Brothers and sisters, we have I had the announcement that the environmental movement is going to have the march every Saturday from 10 to 12 in the corners of Western and Hollywood Boulevard. That is every Saturday. If you don't have time, if you don't have time to do this Saturday, next Saturday we'll be there. Not this Saturday. And for the 31st, we're going to be consistent. We're going to build this movement, and growing. We're going to start with that corner over there, and then we're going to grow to other corners. So remember, you want to do some exercise, you want to do something for the environment, every Saturday, Saturday 31st, 10 to 12, Hollywood and Western is going to be the corner to express your feelings about the environment. Okay?
Hey, now, thank you.
Hey.
Here's the red line right there, too, so show up. So today, okay, I'm Julie, and today a bunch of us went out to support Bradley Manning and speak out against the verdict, 35 years of unjust imprisonment for speaking the truth, when others who are murderers go completely free. So it was really cool, and PSL and AMSR seem to be the ones sponsoring. And they asked, I told them if I could take a banner just to remind us what it is that we're doing across the country today with Bradley Manning. And they said yes, and that is solidarity also to tell people that this Sunday at 1 p.m. that there's a women's word that we marched with last year, Women's Equality Day March and Rally, gathering at Hollywood and Vine at 1 p.m. It was a really beautiful event last year. So I have a couple if anybody wants them. And also finally, what is my upcoming, oh yes, this weekend is the camp out in solidarity with the unhoused, with Occupy Venice and other groups. It's the second annual, it's super fun. I know I'll be there with my tent at Beyond Baroque on North Venice Boulevard. Hope that y'all are going to be there. There's going to be a
staff, Brian?
Occupy Venice. That was so fun last year.
Anybody on staff?
Show up there for that. You can take a bus, actually, I think, pretty much right here.
Oh, okay.
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Just a friendly reminder, August 29th is National Lemon Juice Day. Ordinarily, that's just another made-up American holiday, but like last year, it's an opportunity to tweet your Congress and your public officials. Last year, you'll notice that we got pictures with Chief Beck and City Council, even Paul Corrett juggled lemons last year. Well, this year, we decided they've been juggling lemons too long. So this year, we served them with subpoenas to come to court and to share with us any digital information. Sorry, I'm digging around for it. Any digital information, surveillance, or records that they have on us at Occupy Los Angeles. And we invited them to join us in small claims court. Now they laughed at us because they don't think small claims court is really a big deal. But today, the laugh was on them because I had the great pleasure of speaking at the countywide Criminal Justice Coordination Committee on public comment. We have this meeting every month, but nobody comes to speak except for Annabella from Occupy LA. They told me I couldn't film her, even though we all know public meetings are public record. So I formally asked for permission to film next month. I also showed them this great piece of art made from last year with some of their buddies and got to serve Sheriff Baca in his face with his own subpoena. What's special about that is that that supreme ass clown can no longer say he doesn't know who we are or what we're talking about, or that his deputies are responsible for the death of my unborn child. So, to keep it a little light, because that's heavy shit, we just want to share with you that one person can really make a difference, even if it's just in annoying our public officials to remind them in the nicest, least threatening way that no one is above the law in Los Angeles, especially not the sheriff, the chief of police, or the former mayor. If you want, you can show up to court September 26th and see if they show up, or you can follow along on Twitter. But no matter what, we ask that you stay occupied by any creative, non-violent means necessary. And if you don't know what to do sometimes, carrying a subpoena is one of the best ways to keep law enforcement from, pardon my French, fucking with you unjustly. Because it turns out, just like us, nobody wants to go to court. So if you have trouble with a law enforcement officer, get a witness, send a subpoena, know your rights, and notarize. Power to the peaceful.
Power to the peaceful. We got Richard.
Famous Sheriff Baca.
Hi, Jen! Hi, Jen!
Hi, Chad.
It's great to be back. Some of you might know, I went to the 44th Woodstock reunion.
I went to the 44th Woodstock reunion.
And remind you that the fucking hippies have been occupying Woodstock and Bethel, New York for 44 years. So nobody can end the movement or end an occupation because we won. And I want to tell you what happened there. The 44th Woodstock reunion announces the pioneers of medical marijuana, Richard Eastman and Kim Quiggle. She's the lady that gave you the spaghetti and the weed.
Was that your phone?
Oh, that was special effects. Hold on. Okay, that was special effects.
Nice.
We traveled back to the garden. 4 days of peace, love, music, and freedom for the weed. 1969 to 2013. August 15, 16, 17, and 18 in Bethel, New York. For you that don't know where that is, it's not Bethlehem, Israel. It's Bethel, New York. Kim Quiggle to unveil the rescheduling bill, the Marry the Women Act to reschedule and standardize medical marijuana. What's that about? It's what about we've been doing for the last few years, freeing the weed. Because some of you weren't here last week when I announced in our nation's capital, for the first time in 75 years, marijuana was given to people with AIDS legally. We've occupied from coast to coast, from Washington, D.C. to New York to Los Angeles. And I was at the White House to free Bradley Manning with Occupy Washington recently. And I was at the smoke-in at the White House recently. And I was at Woodstock Nation, the Rainbow Hippie Nation. And I bring you great news, not just from whatever you heard about marijuana on CNN or from Eric Holder or not the president, because he did inhale, but he hasn't said anything. And I'm going to wrap it up. But what we've done is we've freed marijuana in this nation. Yeah. You, Occupy Los Angeles, helped us do it. When we gave out the 4 pounds and the 2,000 spaghetti dinners, and Kim Quiggle and I signed a treaty with the Congress a couple of weeks ago, we freed the weed. More to come. Thank you. And don't forget, at the Rock City Railroad, the normal party on August 24th, people that want to go hear about marijuana at Ruben's Gym.
We can see that. I'm showing him your shirt. Okay.
You can go to the LA Normal meeting in Hollywood if you want to. It's the same day.
Free food, free weed, information.
Camp out, so you can go there first if you want to, and then go to Venice. It is the same day,
Okay.
Mama says so.
Next one, Sam.
You have a clown in the paper.
I know, right?
Mic check! I want to give everyone a little piece of a history lesson today. Hey, Richard, Okay. Today is George Jackson Day.
Today is George Jackson Day.
Okay, today is a day where they celebrate the life of George Jackson, who is a Black Panther who was murdered in prison. I'm going to tell you a little bit about his story. Right now we're in the middle of the month of Black August, in which it's a real Black History Month. Many people who celebrate and they talk about political prisoners, the prison industrial complex, and really the real situations that have been going on. George Jackson's story, he's just one of many who have been affected. We're just lucky that he was able to write about his times and write about his story before he was assassinated. In In 1960, at the age of 18,
stand
George
behind you.
Jackson was accused of stealing $70 from a gas station in Los Angeles. Though there was evidence of his innocence, his court-appointed lawyer maintained that because Jackson had a record, 2 previous instances of petty crime, he should be guilty in exchange for a life sentence in the county jail. He did. He received an indeterminate sentence of 1 year to life. Jackson spent the next 10 years in Soledad prison, 7.5 of them in solitary confinement. Instead of succumbing to the dehumanization of the prison existence, he transformed himself into the leading theoretician, of the prison movement and a brilliant writer. Soledad Brother, which contains the letters that he wrote from 1964 to 1970, is his testament. In his 28th year, Jackson and 2 other black inmates, Lita Drumgo and John Clichet, were falsely accused of murdering a white prison guard. The guard was beaten to death on January 16, 1969. A few days after another white guard shot and killed 3
Back
black
from
inmates
Woodstock, more details later.
firing from a tower into the courtyard. The accused men were brought in chains and shackles to 2 secret hearings in Salinas County. A 3rd hearing was about to take place when John Clichet, Madison's uncle and Yoshio's mother, help in trouble. With the aid of a state senator, his mother contacted a lawyer and so commenced one of the most extensive legal defenses in U.S. history. According to their attorneys, Jackson, Drumgo, and Clichet were charged with the murder not because there was any substantial evidence of their guilt, but because they previously identified as black militants by the prison authorities. If convicted, they would face a mandatory death penalty under the California Penal Code. Within weeks, the case of the Soledad brothers emerged as a political cause celebrated for all sorts of people demanding change at a time where every American institution was shaken by black rebellions in more than 100 cities as a mass movement against the Vietnam War. On August 7, 1970, just a few days after George Jackson was transferred to the case was
That's live streaming, right? You just, oh, okay. That's great. It's alive and well. Nobody can declare occupy dead. Who thought they could do that? No.
An assault rifle and a shotgun hidden under his coat. Educated into a political revolutionary by George, Jonathan invaded the court during a hearing for 3 black San Quentin inmates, not including his brother, and handed them weapons. As he left with the inmates and 5 hostages, the judge, Jonathan demanded that the Soledad brothers release within 30 minutes. In the shootout that ensued, Jonathan was gunned down. Of Jonathan, George wrote, he was free for a while, I guess that's more than most of the expect.
So within 2 years.
Dedicated to Jonathan Jackson.
It started in 2011, and now it's 2013.
It's our 3rd year, but our 2nd anniversary.
We'll be kicking off our 3rd year. It'll be the kickoff to the 3rd year.
2 days before the opening of his trial, on this day, George Jackson was shot to death by a tower guard inside San Quentin prison. In perpetrated escape attempt. No black person, wrote James Baldwin, will ever believe that George Jackson died the way they told us he did. Soledad Brother will become a classic of black literature and political philosophy.
It seems to be everybody these days.
400,000 copies before it went out of print 20 years ago.
You're doing your job right now. Just calling me back.
I'm bored.
You're bored already?
I'm bored.
You can find the entire text in a free PDF of the Black Writers Liberation League. And I really hope you all check it out. And that's a little piece of history of what happened today and how important it is to stop the struggle and, you know, of the to stand behind the struggle of the prisoners, because without us here on the ground, they have nothing. They're unsupported. The system that they're thrown into, the public pretenders lie to them. They get fucked every day, and people end up with life in prison with absolutely no evidence behind it. Okay, and then they get assassinated in prison. So this month, really do your research, find out, educate yourself, and please read that text.
Thank you, Bear.
Yeah.
Do you have anybody else on staff? welcome back.
We want Blues Clues!
We want Blues Clues! We want Blues Clues! Oh, I tripped! No, Blue, get up!
He's such a con man. Alright, we gotta get a close-up on this one.
Mic check.
My check.
For those of you who haven't heard, could you dance on Blues Clues?
My check!
No, it's alright. For those of you who are deaf on Blues Clues, alright, dude. I just got
Look at all these love right here.
Sunday, and I keep hearing a lot of I don't know, nonsense.
We can't hear you.
I'm a young kid. I'm 21. The majority of you here are what? Twice my age. Twice my age. 21. Look, right in the face. Okay. So what I gotta say about that is, look, people, sit down one of these days and just think. Why am I involved with this type of crowd? What am I trying to accomplish? What's my goal? What is the complete reason of why I'm doing this? A lot of you will have different perspectives, different roads of how you're getting to this goal, but the majority of you have the same goal. So I don't see why all of you are arguing with each other. It might not be you guys right now with each other, but I'm just hearing that somewhere right around these groups there's people arguing. I'm super high, so you're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
Because they're working with egos.
Ego check, right? Hey now, Mom says all the time.
I don't know, man, but I just hope you guys take those words I just said to heart, to mind, to the mind heart. That's what we all work with. For those of you who know what I'm saying, you know what a mind heart is. Well, I'm getting choked out over here.
Choked up or choked out?
He said choked out.
So,
I'm hearing what you're saying, and we all should be hearing what you're saying.
I am. So.
I'm disturbing the peace. That's why he's trying to keep it.
Yeah, there you go.
Free speech.
So, I don't know, man. That's all I really had to say. Love you guys.
Okay, does anybody else have any announcements?
I have one more. A lady that gave out the weed and the spaghetti's on her way. She doesn't have weed or spaghetti, but
Oh, damn.
say hello. Kim Cook was going to be here in a few minutes.
She is the lady who gave out the weed that day.
Yeah, she's just coming to say hello, and then she's on her way right now. Let's just all just wish her well, because maybe we're going to give out weed and food again. We just need it. You want it?
On October 1st?
Yeah, books and clubs.
We're having a picnic on the 29th.
Jolly. The weed.
All in there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So we got Sergeant giving the discussion for tonight, so please listen to what he has to say.
Yeah. All right. Shantesina.
Shantesina!
Shantesina.
Shantesina!
When you hear that, what do you do?
No, you're supposed to respond to an emergency with one of your comrades.
There you go.
We tried it at camp.
All right. Okay, I got some flyers over here.
Mic check! Mic check! This is important!
This is important.
This is a safety meeting!
This is a safety meeting!
Does that mean we all get high?
Not just the kind that means you smoke weed!
Not just the kind that means you smoke weed!
Real safety!
Real safety!
If you need help,
If we need help.
raise your voice! And say Shantesina!
Direct them to the local medic.
And then people will come!
And then?
People will come.
Not the apathetic ass clowns,
Not the apathetic ass clowns.
but people that know what it means!
People that know what it means.
Peacekeepers!
Peacekeepers.
Real people!
Real people.
Oath keepers!
Oath keepers.
Rainbow gathering people!
Rainbow gathering.
Hippies! And also Occupy LA! Sergey's gonna tell you what else it means!
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. So, I got a flyer over here. I'm going to pass this flyer. Or if you want to help me read this flyer, I'll
If you Google Shantasina, there is a website. There's a Shantasina website. You guys can all Google it now and read along. Shantasina has been used widely in other places, such as Rainbow Gathering and other places. You're my other bodyguard, right? I need a bodyguard tonight.
Why?
We'll talk about it later.
Nobody's gonna kill you. This is a peaceful gathering.
Well, somebody's really not at me, so...
Yeah, but still, nobody's raising their voices or anything.
So far, so good. We'll see.
Alright.
We'll see.
Okay. So, who's a good read? Let's read this. What is Shantasina? It's right there. Shanti means peace. Sina means army. This was started by Gandhi, and they asked him, why you call it army? He said, well, it's like just the position of the things that are going in the world. We want to bring peace. And so, Shantasina is a different way of approaching things. Instead of doing security, you want to create communities. It's about helping.
Oh, this is good. Yeah, do that.
Bringing law into a situation. Because when there is a situation, when people are...
Oh, that's really good. Oh my God.
Because they have a need that is not being solved. So here is a flyer that we used to pass in the encampment about Shantasina. So when you do Shantasina, you call for Shantasina, and
I have a rubber band here.
Help a situation.
You don't need it?
If there is somebody that is screaming for help or whatever.
Mic check!
Mic check! Mic check! So,
Are we reading this?
yeah, so let's read this. You want to read one part of that? Okay, let's start there.
Shantasina, here at Occupy Los Angeles, we are actively seeking new ways of living together to form a new paradigm. Shantasina was a proposal passed by the Occupy LA General Assembly during the encampment days. Shantasina is an alternative method of keeping order within a community and was initially created by Gandhi as a way to bring a nonviolent approach to quell volatile situations. Shantasina is a way to decentralize the authority to have power over.
Mic check, come on people, we can't hear them.
Come on guys. I was gonna go off.
Shantasina is a way to decentralize the authority to have power over by building empathy and intimacy within our movement and reconnecting each other with a shared responsibility for the collective welfare of all of us. Reclaiming the sense of separation and isolation perpetuated and rewarded in a dominant culture that thrives off its existence. We are the 99%. There is no separation.
Yeah!
There's more.
Okay, so who wants to read the school part?
Sunshine.
All right. You want to go ahead?
There you go, get to listen to the voice.
Mic check!
Mic check!
When do you call Shantasina? If you feel threatened. If you have been assaulted.
If you witness an assault or altercation, and if you feel you need the support of your community, hey now.
Hey now.
If Shantasina is called, what do you do? Number 1, activate yourself to witness and observe. Move toward the altercation with the intention to hold space.
Thank you.
Remind yourself, and this is a good one for all of us, that this is not about you. And be aware of your own ego. So we're there as observers. Part 2.
Right, let's stop right there. You're doing pretty good. So,
Thank
right
you,
there
Melissa.
is when you approach somebody, if you have anxiety,
What?
that anxiety,
We can't hear you.
we're talking about Shantasina. And so, we're talking about when you approach people in Shantasina.
Free Red Bull! Free Red Bull! Over here! We're giving out free Red Bull!
Yeah, break time!
Free Red Bull! Take a free Red Bull break while we discuss point number 1. But come back in 2 minutes and free Red Bull!
Hey now. Thank you.
I'll take one.
I need that. Do that in.
You don't need one, Melissa. Sunshine.
We need to laugh.
I put my Red Bull in your
You can
thing.
put anything in there.
No, it's for you though.
Do you want to put your bag in there too?
Oh, I might forget it, but I need those batteries.
Alright. Anyways,
Say hey
the
now
best
to the.
GA we've
Say
had
hey now
in
to
so
the.
long.
Say hey now.
Okay, just for a second. Hey now. This is a good GA.
Yeah.
You know, because we challenged it to be cumbersome.
I think I might.
a good GA, it was a challenge of sorts, right?
I'm an archive machine, guys. I'll be right back.